Hello, Internet. Welcome back to that Silverline show on Tuesday. I'm your host, Tim TK. Joined as always by Jose Fuentes.
King Jose.
King Fuentes, yes.
Right.
Back from Emerald City Comic Con up in Seattle.
I'm telling you, I never left my time zone. Like, I was over there and I was waking up over there. I was waking up at 1, 2 in the morning. And on my phone, it was like 6, 7. I was like, oh, I got to get up for the show. And I look over the alarm clock, like, crap.
Right. Getting that.
Give me 1 second. For the record, that was My Chemical Romance. It's the ringtone for my children.
Oh, there you go. That's appropriate.
Right? So
yeah,
while you introduce us and everything, let me mute this real quick so I can see if he's okay.
Sure. Yeah, I think when I was over at Tampa Bay, it was the same deal where I ended up just wanting to sleep through half the con. But yeah, so today we'll be talking about the differences, the benefits, and the cons of working on a single creator comic or story versus working with a full team. And then we'll probably also get into, different sizes of teams if you're just writer and illustrator, or writer, illustrator, inker, colorist, the whole deal. But we will be talking about the creative side of everything. Creative side of everything was like to be fully in control of your vision versus having a team on to kind of edit the process together, as well as the business side of things, revenue splits, all that deal. And we're also joined by Brent Larson.
Hi, sorry I'm late. You've got some weird growth on your head, dude. Did you get that?
Sir. The King has returned to Silverline show on Tuesday.
Okay, so it was symbolic.
Indeed.
Yes.
Nice.
So there originally when Mackenzie was on here with us, right? Mackenzie Workman. There was a huge argument about like I'm the queen of Tuesday. I was like, whoa, slow down. And it just started an entire feud for so long. You could ask Tim.
Yeah.
There can be only one.
Right? Well, while I was at Emerald City Comic Con, I got a crown. And I put Silverline on it. Pay no attention to the Funko underneath.
Yeah. As much as we'd love Funko to perhaps make some Silverline characters or what have you.
Don't think I hadn't thought about that already.
Yeah. So which is over in this corner, but the Kingdom Come Funko Superman
nice.
is my constant companion on my desk.
Wow, why is he so pale? Was the Kingdom Come Superman just really sun-starved? Now I'm thinking.
I think it might just be the lighting, but yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, nice.
It's,
the black head.
Old man Superman.
Yeah. Well, yeah, because Kingdom Come is after the heroes are retiring, so.
And the young upstarts are coming through, and excuse me.
Yeah.
And breaking everything.
Yes.
So that's why the old guys come back.
Yep.
That was great. I have the original issues actually, so
nice.
I think I have it in trade paperback.
Yeah, I have the trade as well on my shelf back there. There we go. But yes. I guess if we're doing also, speaking of creative decisions that you could decide to do if you're working by yourself or with an editorial team. Something you can do if your editorial team is like all your friends and you all share like the same influences growing up is you can decide to have cover variants that are homages to PlayStation 2 titles.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, so we've done that with Silverline with our what was it? Scary Book. We did an homage to the old EC Tales, like Vault of Horror and Tales from the Crypt books. With the name on top halfway, and then a small little picture with 3 little vignettes of the characters from the book. And we've done that as well because we're awesome.
Yes.
I would love to do one of those. Like I wouldn't want to have to do it, every month or something, or carry the whole book. But the idea of writing a 6-page comic book story or 6 or 8 or whatever it turns out to be,
Excuse me.
it sounds really fun.
Yeah.
And
Well,
a challenge, frankly.
Right. Well, I know that if Jose and I worked on a book together, if there was if it was modern or the vehicles involved in some way, we'd have to at some point. Because imagine we'd probably end up working on some sort of modern horror type story, just kind of meshing our stuff together, and then we'd have to have homage where it's like a Dark Transformers, where it's like a Corvette and there's just a blood splatter coming out the door because someone was inside transforming.
I transformed you into pudding.
I don't know.
I saw a little strip like that, or like maybe it was a little meme gif or whatever, and it was somebody inside the transformer, and then the transformer transforms, and you just see a trail of blood like coming out of like the torso of the transformer. Like, oh,
Yeah.
Mm.
Okay. So getting into tonight's topic, we're talking about single creator versus working with a team. Obviously, with Silverline, most of our books are done with a team, although we have a few things that are like Bear. Essentially, it's just Haley putting that up pretty much.
that's because Haley's a machine.
She is, yeah. But yeah,
Girl works. Wow.
In the world of comics, mostly in independent, you will see a lot of single creator comics if someone can both write and draw. You get a few of them that make it through to like bigger publishing houses, but usually like even with the minimum that Marvel or DC work with is 2 people. And maybe that's like a writer, penciler, or a writer, and then like a full illustrator. And then they might get like a color suite on board, like one of the coloring houses that pop in. But for the most part, with bigger publishers, you're going to see like a full team as well. But there's going to be pros and cons to either setup and working either way, both in terms of the creative liberties you can take within, as well as the business side of things, which if you're working with bigger publishing, or either a bigger publishing house or with a publishing community, publishing commons like Silverline is, where they make the team, the logistics of it easier for you. Versus if you're a single writer, creator on Kickstarter, and now you have to handle the contracts of 3 to 4 other professionals.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So I'll go forward first and get and we can also bring in parallels from working with other mediums. But for you guys, have all the books you've worked on been in a team, or have you done stuff where it is mostly just you, or you and maybe one other person, or how have your different projects been laid out team wise?
I think I've only ever worked with the team, like one way or another. Even if it was just like 2 of us, I still,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I don't know. Even my solo published book was, I had a different artist, and I created the story, and you know what I mean. I had my best friend was my editor, like correcting everything with like the nitpickiest of eyeballs, which I truly do appreciate, but definitely the nitpickiest of eyeballs.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably the same for me. Although, and I've only worked on 2 books so far, with Kalis working with my artists. It's been, they're pretty good at actually just taking my scene and panel descriptions and kind of running with it. So versus my artist on Cape Town, kind of wanted to have more say in how he presented it visually. And frankly, I was just like, I'm so new to this. I'm genuinely curious which which one works better for who, and so I will say this: I don't have a lot of editorial input on my stories themselves, which I kind of whenever I get any kind of feedback, and I do seek it out and I get it, I find it incredibly valuable. I'm very much along the lines of thinking everything I do is awesome. And then 3 months later, I'm like, why did anyone stop me? So
Yeah.
So that I'd love more of that. But in terms of, I mean, comics as a medium, if you can, the coolest thing about comics as a medium is you really do get to be creative in a way that that is more purely you, and maybe one or two other people, versus film where you've got a dozen, 2 dozen, 3 dozen people involved. But even then, I mean, if you are so confident of your ability to tell a great story that you don't want anyone else speaking into it, well, then novels are probably the best way for you to go, and probably self-published novels. So, yeah.
Yes. I will say, like, yeah, even as a like if you're doing a project that's entirely by yourself, that's why the first thing to hit on is having some sort of editorial input. Which, if you're both the writer and illustrator, you'll know how to have input on both ends of that. But yeah, for as far as comics go, like I have only done teamwork as well. I have done some like writing through, well, whatever, like that one we called illustration, but old like Newgrounds videos. But haven't really carried that through. One, because I don't own the rights to Halo Clock, so
Yeah.
But something that I'm actively working on is one of the reasons why I'm teaching my, like, going through the process of learning how to draw properly is I like the idea of being able to illustrate my own work at some point, even if I'm not necessarily the one inking or coloring it. But I think it'd be kind of cool to maybe do everything, but I think it'd be kind of cool to do everything like that, which is more common you find in like the web comic space. And so that's kind of my next grand goal, I think, is so
I mean, as a writer should know how to not necessarily draw, but at least the fundamentals of sequential storytelling. Like I think I said this before in another stream. It helps with timing. It helps with just understanding. We're not all trying to dialogue like Neil Gaiman on Sandman.
Yeah.
So
I'm trying, but
understanding that, and leaving some room for, like, that's great that you just delivered your entire monologue in like 2 panels, but like literally no place to draw the face.
What's also so interesting about like the Krakoa era X-Men, where they did lore dumps but were done as interstitial letters, where they'd have like a letter or an email that's done as interstitial between like illustrated pages. Like, we need to lore dump, we're going to do it as an email. That's also why those books are like 32 pages.
Okay.
Yeah.
Huh. I've never seen that.
Yeah. But I think if you're going to monologue or lore dump, find some fun creative way to do it. The same way, like if you're going to do like a 32 panel page, like you have to find some way to be creative about it, because trying to do that traditionally just doesn't work.
Right.
Yeah.
But so kind of getting on that first point we're talking about there is the importance of editorial input or feedback, which as a team you kind of naturally get that, especially with the way our publishing house works. We have a writer that goes to an editor, that goes to an illustrator, that goes to the so at any point along there's going to be feedback from either editor or your illustrator, or you're like and then I think you won't necessarily like, give you like the same old feedback where they're like, this line is dumb. I'm just going to straighten that out a little bit.
Is it considered editing when the inker corrects something?
I think it's like
fall into that category.
I think it'd be editing, yeah, but it's you're editing artwork, but it's again it's in the scope of making the book as good as possible because.
So I've done that, and I'm pretty sure the penciler was not happy about it, but it didn't make sense the way they did it. And I obviously am not mentioning any names because I've worked on several books, not just Silverline people. Don't try and figure it out, Batman. But I did correct a couple things for Cat and Mouse Vipers, but I sent Angelo an email like, yo, bro, do you mind if I fix this? Is that okay with you? He's like, oh yeah, like if it doesn't make sense, go ahead and fix it. It's like, I'm always gonna let you know if I do. Just putting it out there because of the experience I had in the past.
Yeah. I think that's also something like if you're in a project where everyone's super passionate about making a book and about the medium and just having having fun making the project for someone to have fun reading.
Right.
Everyone's gonna be super down for like, yeah, if you see something you can fix, do it. Like I'm the same way with my stuff. The only time I gave like a hard no to an artist was when they're like, I want to give this character a scar. I'm like, that's literally like a character altering detail. Like,
right.
Yeah. Like we already have a different
face is too clean.
we already have a thing in place for his person. But yeah. But try, especially if you're in the independent comic space, try not to hold yourself to like thinking that your work is as good as gospel. Like certain people who have turned to failing to fulfill Kickstarter campaigns.
Well, and two, I mean, that is really good advice for any creative. Don't be too precious with your work because you can actually see our tours who do really good in any chosen medium, and then their work starts to get weird. Yeah. And you can tell it's because they stopped listening to the people around them. And I'm deathly afraid of that for myself because, frankly, it's not like I have anything amounting to fans who I can lose. Like I may have 7 in the world, which I'm like, okay, I guess that's better than nothing. But at the same time, I'm also going, if I ever think that the feedback that I've gotten, I don't have to take all the suggestions people have, but if a lot of them have the same suggestion, then I'd probably better listen. And if I'm convinced that they're wrong, then I am basically looking at an inflated opinion of myself, which is so easy to do when you're a creative. My vision is my vision, and it's, dude, get over yourself. It's okay. It's comics.
Get over yourself.
Yeah. Even if in the middle of it, it seems like the most important thing there is. Give yourself a month. You'll see that we're wrong. It's okay.
Yeah. So. Absolutely. And when you're the writer and artist on a book, even if you're just doing it, like even if you're not monetized and you're just putting it out as like a webtoon or like an e-comic or something like that, even if you haven't like this is still you putting out art in the world for people to consume, and like then I even get to the discussion of like the truest art is that which is unmonetized, but you're putting out some sort of creative expression out there, and if you want that to like truly reflect what you want it to, or to truly capture what you want, but the images you're trying to get, like you have to get outside your own perspective, and that means having people give you feedback on both the story elements and then also the illustration, because now you're doing both things. And a lot of the best webtoonists, like the people who have made a career on webtoons or all the different like e-comic sites now, you see that they are part of a like they're technically self-published, but they're part of like a commune or publishing house, kind of like Silverline is, where they have people that will look at what they do before they post it and say like no, this dialogue doesn't make sense, or this beat doesn't make sense. What do you guys think? Yeah.
Like, does this make sense? Is it flowing right? Like, I mean, you ask the questions to get a critique and be be a little hard about it. Make sure you know what I mean. You can take it.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. A thick skin. If you don't, I remember a friend of mine told me that he got on this critiquing website with this person who had written like a story and was looking for feedback. So my friend gives some, this is a couple of things you might want to work on. And the guy responds, I am blocking you from my site. You are a killer of dreams.
Wow.
And my friend's like, I feel bad. And I'm like, dude, that guy, if he is looking to be a professional writer, he is going to be unemployable. Because, I mean, for one, people were giving him free feedback. I mean, asking anyone for feedback is kind of, it's asking people for a lot. I mean, you're asking them to give up their time to help you out for no other reason than because they like you or they just want to help you. Okay, that's great. But, ask people. But take what, be gracious to what they say. I had a guy try to talk me out of my critique of his work, and I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just telling you what I think. I don't actually want to do that anymore. So, just give, if someone gives you critique you don't like, you don't have to take it, but you really should be gracious and thank them. And keep in mind that you don't know everything, and just try to, I don't know, humility and creativity do not intuitively go hand in hand, but
Right.
they should.
I mean, I've given critiques on, and even if it's somebody's, pride and joy, there's like, oh, this is my book that blah blah blah, existential, da da da, metaphysical, blah blah blah, blah, right? And I don't blah 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 to be rude. I said blah 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 because that line of thinking kind of goes over my head. I'm a simple dude, right? I don't need to know like the whole cultural thing you're trying to recreate and ignite. But let me see your art, and I'll tell you how if the story, from what I can see, without any dialogue, if the story flows. I mean, is there a nice flow? Does it follow the patterns we're supposed to follow when telling a story, the way our eyes move across the paper? And I've had people tell me that they didn't like what I said.
Right.
In the simplest of terms, they did not like what I said. I have not been called the killer of dreams, but I definitely told, like, what the heck do you know? And blah, blah, blah. I'm like, nothing. Like, I don't know anything. Like, I mean, I'm nobody important. Look at my follower. Like, Brent's got 7 of them. I might have the other 5. So nothing. All I can offer you is what I was taught.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm happy to share what I've been given.
And what's weird is when people ask for your critique or a critique from you, they're basically not coming to you as a professional, anything other than professional reader of their work, and that's the best thing you can offer. I mean, if they really want, a full-on art critique, they should pay for it and get it from a professional who offers their services in that regard. If someone's asking me for a critique of a screenplay or something, they probably are coming to me because they know that I have some experience in that realm. But I'm not going to come at it as a professional critiquer. I'm going to come at it as a guy who just digs on stories. And are they going to give me a good story? Cool. Well, this element has trouble. Okay, I will mention it. Frankly, I'm doing them a disservice if I don't mention it. And if they're going to get on me for being honest, then you got to ask, why did you ask? I don't think you wanted a critiquer. I think you wanted a cheerleader. Yeah.
You wanted a pat on the back. That's what I'm hearing.
The next time, if someone asks me for a critique, I should just ask them straight out, do you want a critique or do you want me to be a cheerleader?
Right.
Because I'm happy to be your cheerleader. It's easier.
I have told people, what are you looking to get from me? Like, do you want me to give you an honest critique, or do you just want me to say good job? Yeah. Because I can't wear both hats. Like, you tell me which one I'm wearing, right? And for the most part, people want an honest critique. It's like, okay, So I've said this before. I've said this for years. There was an interview and Jim Lee said how he does critiques is he'll give you 3 positives and 3 negatives, right? You always start with the positive because you want to feel good about something, and it's not even really negatives. It's things to work on, right? And I've had people like, like, oh, what is it? It was, well, oh, that's my style. Okay. And that's about as far as I'll go because, like, okay, that tells me you don't want to listen. And like I said, I'm nobody. I understand that. You know what I mean? So no need to say like, oh, well, who are you? Well, nobody.
Right.
A guy who loves comics. I'm a guy who loves comics so much. I went to art school specifically for comics so I can learn how to do it better for myself.
Right.
You know what I mean? So
yeah,
that's the only person I am.
That's also like one of the things you have to be aware of was when you are trying to figure out what your style is, like understanding what is form and technique versus what is style.
Right.
And when you're doing your own like single creator project, it's going to be all the more important that you marry your writing style and your illustrative style, and that you have good technique in both. It's like, yeah, like Scott Pilgrim, the X-Men, and Kingdom Come are all like wildly different looking books, but they're all wonderfully illustrated because there's good technique. It's just there's different styles. And so, but the fundamentals of style are going to kind of be the same across. It's just that things may be more important in one style versus the other, right? You're not going to worry maybe the same about volume as you would do in cartoony like Scott Pilgrim, but it's still present, still there. And then also having something like when you're working with a team, something that's also very present is having in terms of having other people look at your work regularly, is the idea of having someone to hold you accountable. Like working with the team, it's super easy because I know I need to get the script done because otherwise the illustrator's not working. Then Jose is just down the chain twiddling his thumbs. And the editor's job is to kind of come in and like, hey guys, what's happening? Whereas if you're doing your own creative thing, getting connected to the creative house, a publishing house, is probably going to be helpful because then you can have someone saying like, hey, you haven't uploaded it this month. You should probably do that. But if you're just doing your own thing, there's no one outside of maybe an audience, which you'll have established far down the line, to say like, to hold you accountable to publishing that. And so even pulling in someone to sit in as an accountability buddy, or like sit in the kind of the role as a beta reader, so you're making sure that I'm getting something to this person at least once a month. Like, and it doesn't even necessarily be at the same role of feedback. Like, because I'm not at the point where I'm ready for like feedback in my illustration. I'm just sending pictures to Jose to be like, hey, I'm still doing it. I'm still doing the thing.
Right. Some updates, something, some kind of communication.
Yeah.
That's another thing I like about working with the team. Isn't so much I'll get messages from Wes. You know what I mean? It's like, hey, is everything all right? Like, is there anything you need from me? No, buddy, we're good. Like, I'm just slow. But I love that, the communication, and then I'll upload pages on, as soon as I get pages done, I'll upload them onto our group, our team, messenger group. And because I want to get feedback and critique from the team before I get from anybody else, which I love, which I'm really glad, because there's a really like good page I did. And I looked at it and I was like, man, that is a lot of pencil and that looks amazing. Like, I freaking love this page. Uploaded it onto our Facebook group and got a message back from the writer. Is he supposed to have 2 left hands? What? Oh, like, I'm so glad. I indeed drew 2 left hands on a guy.
Nice.
But had
he
I
was
just
bitten by a radioactive left-handed spider.
Right? It's a spinning hand. That's all it is. But I feel like had I just sent it through, my editor probably would have caught it, right? But better that the creative team caught it before I made it that far and kind of looked the fool. So like I like working with a team because of stuff like that, you know, because of the encouragement you get. And it doesn't always need to be like patting on my back, right? I don't need to be patted on my back, but it is nice to hear like, oh man, that came out great. Like, man, I really like that page. You know what I mean? So the encouragement from the team, I think, is really important. And any comments like I'm not quite sure what you did with that page. That doesn't make any sense to me. Oh, okay. Let me rework my rough and see if I can make it clarify it more. You know what I mean? As long as you can take criticism, as long as you can take, you know, people not understanding your art. I mean, you may freaking splash ink and everything everywhere, but in the end, if people don't understand it, better that your creative team sees that and like helps you with it, or at least lets you know before it moves on to, you know, to something that nobody's gonna like when it's done. You know, except for, you know, nobody critiques, you know, gaming because that dude has freaking words everywhere. But there are people who will self-publish their own book, right? Write it, artwork, whatever, and those books are amazing. I don't understand how they would put them out once a month or even bi-monthly, because that's a lot of work for one dude to do. You know what I mean? Like I know a guy that is doing his own book, and it's a great book. Like it's a superhero book, just like inspiring, very like I wanted to make a superhero book that would inspire people in my neighborhood, and I love it, right? But it's not in every. And I think the goal for us as creators is to do a monthly book, but you know, time constraints, funding, all that. I mean, I get all that back behind the curtain stuff kind of gets in the way, but so does time. And if you're not a full-time artist, I feel it's real hard to put out a book, you know what I mean, on your own as a self-publishing, like nobody else involved. You are a castle on your own island. You know what I mean? I just feel it would be really hard. Now, I'm sure, like I said, I'm sure there are people that just freaking excel at it because they're machines just like Haley.
Was like Laura Olympus was like done by a single writer artist.
Laura is beautiful.
Yeah, and she did it as a weekly publication originally to Webtoons, but also she had already written through and illustrated most of the book before they started going. So the weekly updates were backlog at that point. And this is also something we could talk about. Like if you're used to film or television, the secret to putting out something monthly or weekly is you've created it well advanced before then. And so that's kind of what the novel I talked about before that I'm also working on. I'm working on a lot of things, but if you're creative ADHD, you kind of get it.
Right.
That's the goal with that as well. It's like I want to be like halfway written through that, and then
you guys are crazy. Like the mind of a writer is astounding because I can't focus on two things at once. You know what I mean? Like if my kids busted in the door right now, I couldn't talk to them and have like manage everything here. I'd be like, right? Or the other way around. Okay. But man, writers really do juggle multiple things in their nugget that, oh, blah, 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 this character and then this and then blah, blah, blah. Like, just write it down. Just write it down.
Well, and writers have to do that too. Anytime a writer says, I don't need to worry about writing my book, it's all in my head. Good luck with that, dude. No one can read it in their head, so it doesn't count.
Right. See, and I am trying to write a comic. For me, it's hard. Like I've taken writing classes. I took writing classes before I went to freaking Cuber school. You know what I mean? I took a writing class in Cuber school. And still, I'm like,
well, I'm not good with drawing, dude. There's no way. I don't even try anymore. It's
Like, my
like
hamster shorts out. You guys just don't know.
maybe your crown's too tight.
That right?
Huh. Yeah. Well, I mean, and that goes to the thought behind our whole episode is, I mean, I'm very cognizant of the fact that there is no real market for comic book scripts. Nobody's really interested in reading comic scripts. They're interested in reading comics, which means that I have to get with someone else who knows what they're doing at least as well as I do, probably more, because as a writer, this rankles me to say it. People buy comics for the art more than they do the words. So,
true. It's very
okay,
true.
fine. But because of that, I have to rely on someone. That's the thing. You have to rely when you're collaborating with someone else. You have to rely on them. It's not just that you're working in the same room. It's that they are making your work look better, and vice versa. And if you don't have that set, then really, is your product can be worth looking at. So,
Yeah.
Listen, I have a fear penciling. Like, funny enough, like I love it. Like Obsoletes number 3 will be my first like official comic book pencils, right? And I was reminded of that at Emerald City Comic Con when I was talking to people about obsoletes, because there were several people way more interested in obsoletes than like Cat and Mouse or anything, right? It's a very sci-fi, like I don't know if that was just the show or the theme of it, because the theme of the whole show was like fantasy, fairy tale, something or other. But I just seemed to get a lot of people that were like interested in sci-fi stuff, right? And drawing sci-fi and drawing like for obsoletes, like I was like talking about it. It's talking, oh yeah, we're going to be crowdfunding that soon. And I was like, oh yeah, that's my first pencils. Like, that's wild. Like I turned them in, and they've been turned in. So they went to the next stage. They went to the inker, which is real funny to not be the inker for it.
Yeah.
But now I've moved, and I don't feel it's like an up and down when it comes to like between pencilers and inkers, right? Because I love inking. I love inking a lot. It's probably my favorite thing to do in the comic book process, right? I can pencil, I can color, I can letter, I can do everything. You know what I mean? Because we were taught to do that. But I love inking. But penciling is actually growing on me too. And the idea that I'm laying out the narrative, the writer laid out the narrative, and I'm laying out, the sequential pages for that narrative. Like, it's interesting to be the thinking part of the art. Does that make sense? Yeah. Like, now as an inker, you're thinking in ways of like values and shadows. You know what I mean? It's a different thinking process than it is as a penciler. And having now done both sides of that, in a comic book, like I'm really glad I work with a team, because it's wild. Like, I don't know if I'll ever elevate up to writing, because again, hamster, but I'm so glad to work with like the writers that we have, like truly, because the one thing Roland said to me was, if you're coming on to Silverline, you have to love comics, like truly be in love with comics, like love it. Like I was like, dude, I literally went to art school for it. Like, I moved my entire family to Pennsylvania, you know what I mean, so I can go to art school. So like, I definitely love it, and I think I've proven that, you know what I mean. But like, I love the fact that working as a team, you're working with people who love it as well, like who love inking in a book, who love penciling a book, who love writing the story, and then watching as the rest of us slowly start making that story come to life, you know what I mean, visually. And I don't know if I'll ever, like I said, if I'll ever see that from a writer's point of view, and like watching like the ball, the pinko thing, chip going down to the slots, but I am appreciative of every step of the process.
Yeah.
So, like I said, having to even the idea of doing it all by myself, I don't know if I would ever finish it, just because like you would get just the work it takes to do it all.
Mhm.
And I know that there's shortcuts now. I know there's a lot of pencilers who like just do a quick rough and do everything in inks, right? Even digitally doing it in inks, like just doing all the finished work there. But I like the process. I like finished pencils. I like finished inks. I like seeing colors. You know what I mean? Even just from the flats to the I love watching Dave work. Like David Rios when he's on here and doing coloring pages and whatnot. Like it's wild to watch him work. And after the show, I've picked his brain for like a good hour and some change, where we just like traded ideas and traded tips back and forth. Like, hey, Dave, how did you do this when you were coloring this? And he would break it down for me. And then he would ask me questions about inking. You know what I mean? Just like I love the whole process of making comics. So the idea of having other people to talk about it, you know what I mean? Like I said, to me, that's what making comics is about. I think as little kids, we're like, oh, I want to draw for Marvel. That's all stages. Like I knew when I was younger, it was all stages. Like everyone did something, you know what I mean? Mm. And everyone wanted to be a part of that when you were growing up. Like if you loved Marvel comics, if you loved DC comics growing up, you loved the stages. So you ended up knowing the stages, loving the stages, or you just love the story, right?
Yeah.
Me, I like the behind the scenes. I like seeing the stages, and I love being a part of that. Like otherwise, just make your own comic and don't talk to anybody. But it's really good to talk to people and, like I said, just share our love for the process of what we're doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, that's like one of the books that's currently in production right now that I've written is Soul Ascendant, which I've shared some art with Alex Gallimore. That's really easy to stay motivated for that, even though it does take a while to produce a book and like the way we do things. It's really easy to stay motivated because he also loves like the aesthetics that informed the idea of Destiny 2 and Smite, right. And like, and as well as like superheroes and sci-fi. So it's kind of like this combination of all these different things. And he's like, well, yeah, this is all crap I love too. So we just kind of at a certain point we'll nerd out where like he'll say, hey, what do you they were talking about Invictus, and so then send him like images of a Titan from Destiny. He's like picking up armor sets from this game we both play. So yeah, that's it, having that team present, even just for the camaraderie of it, is really easy to stay in the love of the medium.
Right?
Yeah.
Like stay positive about it, to stay, you know what I mean? Just excited for the entire thing. Like, I mean, I am blessed that this is what I get to do. Truly. Like I am a blessed man, you know what I mean? We have a business that, funnels everything else, and I get to sit home and draw pretty pictures. You know what I mean? That's my 8-year-old dream,
That's pretty cool, man.
So
that is a really cool thing too. Just the reminder. I mean, maybe it's not that cool. I mean, the simple truth is, if you want to make money, comics is probably not the way to go.
Oh no.
But at the same time, I've worked in film and I've worked in comics and a couple other mediums. Frankly, this is the one where I get the most creative endorphin rush, because I know that I'm working with people who are really good at what they do, but have not reached a place where they can feel pretentious about it. Love doing it, and if you don't love doing it, you're just not going to last, which is fine. You don't want to invest a lot of money and time in something that you don't love. So when I'm writing a comic script, I'm just, and I'm really in the zone, and I'm like, sometimes I'm like, oh, this is what I meant when I came up with this idea. This is so cool. And I love it, and that's something that will probably not make me any more money. There's a possibility I will lose money, but darn it, if isn't the coolest thing
Right?
to think about. And I'm just like, when you think about, every once in a while, you should brag on yourself. You should be allowed to brag on yourself. What is one cool thing about you? And frankly, I write comic books. It's something that I enjoyed as a kid, and I will never get over it. It is
Right.
one of the coolest things about me. I don't think I'm being terribly prideful in saying that. It's just like, a lot of people, I don't know what they do. They used to like this stuff and then they moved on to something. I never moved on. But I'm doing it for myself. And if that's, I like it when other people say they like my work. But when I'm working on it myself and I'm talking with people who are like, oh, I can make this look good for you. Dude, that is a pretty sweet spot in life. So,
Right.
Yeah. I mean, just thinking about some of the books we worked on, thinking about if we were to take something like Kalis or Wolf Hunter or Obsoletes and do that as a film, like how much money, how many producers would need to get involved to get them in the same scope and scale that you can do it in 22 pages on a comic, right? And the stories we have rattling around in our head, things that we want to create, what things we want to get out there, and to be able to do so in a way that gets it out accurately, visually, and in a way that is that we loved growing up. It's there's no way that I need to be sleeping with Spike Jones in order to get Wolf Hunter made. In the same way that comes out in comics.
It's funny. I occasionally wonder what would happen if someone said, I want to make Kalis into a TV show. And part of me would be like, take the money and run. And I don't know. But, or, at least get an executive producer credit so that I can maybe have some influence on it. But what's weird is I've had in my mind, Cape Town, I don't feel it quite as much, but with Kalis, I'm very much trying to communicate an idea, which probably would not be terribly sexy in a television show, especially one for a popular audience. So I would have to go into it knowing that my work would be, frankly, diminished, even if some insane person wanted to throw millions of dollars in special effects into it and get high-priced talent. It wouldn't be what I came up with. It would be what somebody else came up with. And there's a part of me that would be like, I just don't know if that sounds terribly appealing to me.
Yeah.
So, especially if, 20 years down the line, someone would be like, oh, Kalis, it was that TV show about that guy and it was all about power structures in the 21st century. And I'd be like, my heart would die just a little bit if I heard someone say that, because I'd be like, no, that's not what it was about.
Just reply back with Manimal was only one season.
Yeah. Yeah. And I did say earlier in this episode, you shouldn't be precious about your work. Maybe that's me.
So I think there's something to say, if you do want to have the true artist intent, if you are in a position where you feel confident enough to be an auteur, a single creator comic, something like a Lore Olympus or something like that, whatever is it, go for it. And then you have different delineations where things about comics is that there's only some people involved, where it's very hard to lose a plot from writer to penciler to inker, whereas in the TV show you can get so many hands involved.
Yeah, I can see that.
And even then, kind of to the point, we're saying we have still so much creative freedom even in the team, where if we were to, they're working on a TV show, if we were to hand in the script as the showrunner, and then it's seeing this, a thunder god crashes to the ground, sending a army of androids flying. We could have the director saying, well, if we need to shoot it this way or do this or do it all on a sound stage, so we're not going to be able to do it on location like you want to. We're going to have producers saying, well, can we cut the scene to have more budget for our stars close up later, blah 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 blah,
Mhm.
all this other stuff. When then in comics we send in the script and Jose is like, yes, I'm drawing this now. This is cool.
Yeah, I know Roland says over and over that the coolest thing about comics is that your special effects budget is unlimited, which
Right.
really true because
Yeah.
I mean, you hear movies that they have to cut down on effects for whatever reason, and you're like, but what about the story? The story
Right.
is served by these, but the story isn't king in that place, and it's the money that is. In
Yeah.
comics, the story can be king, and that's a really cool thing.
Absolutely.
You're not going to get that elsewhere.
Right. And it's what we love about it. You know what I mean? It's truly.
Mm.
I think I was gonna say if I told, you know, even junior high me, dude, you're gonna grow up and truly be a factory until I die. Right?
Mm.
So I grew up, listen, I'm 50 years old. I know I don't look it,
I wasn't going to guess a day over 48.
right? But I grew up and, you know, with the family mentality that as soon as you finish high school or whatever, you go to work, you take care of your family, right? Who knew that going to work was going to be sitting in my freaking office drawing pictures?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, I said it before, I'll say it again. I truly am a blessed guy. You know, I have a very understanding wife.
Yes.
who let me take over her birthday weekend to go to the comic convention in Pacific Northwest. A very
Yes.
understanding wife.
Huh.
I'm gonna put her on credits on the books and everything as well. Like my wife, what a gem.
Yeah. Edited by, tolerated by.
Listen,
yes.
my wife is definitely an editor when it comes to my artwork. Like, I'll be working on a
Oh,
page
man.
and I'll finish it and I'm like, babe, what do you think? Like, oh, that looks weird. Oh, which part? It's like, yeah. I was like, okay, redo.
Mhm.
But she'll tell me if something looks off. She's like, do you want me to lie to you or do you want me to tell you the truth? Like, no, I always want the truth. Like, tell me the truth. Like, I can take it. Give me the tissue.
Actually, you are blessed. Writers are told, do not show your stuff to your family members because they'll just basically give you a sunshine enema.
Right? Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, either do that or you get the family member that like gives you an honest critique and then you want to fight them. Like, find a friend that you don't live with to send your work to.
Put your glasses up on the counter. It's like, why? Because we're gonna go outside.
Yeah. Yes, kids, the moral of this story is critique. You need it and it still sucks.
Right. And
Yes.
doing this as a team, because my daughters hear me, my son hears me, and my son, you know, he's a musician, he doesn't care. You know, but my daughters, they hear me talking with my team. They hear me talking with, you know, sending messages like, what are you doing, Dad? Like, oh, I'm letting my editor know where I'm at. I'm letting the writer know, showing them pages that I've got done. So my daughter has created a fan fiction-y story that she is animating and has incorporated fellow students at school to help her in the animation process, to help her in the shading process, to help her like voice act. And she's been managing this for like the last month. I mean, I don't expect this thing to get done for like a year, but she has seen how I work as a team and has asked me questions and has incorporated that into her own animation that she's working on. And I think it's amazing. And so she'll talk to me about it. Like, Dad, like this person is blah, 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 blah. And I was like, well, if it were mine, if that, you know, if it was my team or, you know, a team I'm a part of, I would say this. And she's like, yeah, but blah, blah. Hey, listen, understand it that you're the editor, you're the producer. They're not, nobody else is putting in on it. So in the end, you have final say. And she's like, you know what? You're right. I was like, you don't have to be mean, you don't have to be rude, but you don't have to be nice.
Yeah.
And sometimes it needs a kick in the butt. Like sometimes I need my editor to give me a kick in the butt. Like, dude, get cracking. Oh yeah, my bad. Yeah, you're right. Like I don't know what I've been doing this last time. You know what I mean? This bit of time. Like, man, because I'll be honest, if I were to do it on my own, there would be stalls, there would be delays because I get lost in what I was doing. You know what I mean? Like, okay, I could start doing this, I could start doing that. I told you at the beginning of the stream, I do not multitask. You know what I mean? So I have to finish one end before I start the next. And if you're trying to get, like, if I have to, like, oh, do this and then, like, transition, I have to do some of this and some of this, my brain will shut off because I'm like, I can't. I don't know what to do. I don't know what to start on. Like, I'll start a little bit of this and then jump over here and then jump over here. And I'll just, so those people that can compartmentalize, I think is the right word, their brain when they're working on a solo project, good on you. I am not that guy, but good on you because that's cool. And if that works for you, like, I'm definitely not going to sit here and say, oh, you should work with a team. But if you can compartmentalize and do that and make that book happen on your own, that's awesome. And I'm going to probably buy it and just to support you and ask you about it. Because I'm not the kind of person who just goes up to you and say, oh, dude, that looks cool, I'll buy it. Like, no, tell me about your story. Tell me give me the elevator pitch. I had to give elevator pitches in school to, about stories that we wanted to do. You know what I mean? Give me your pitch. Like, I feel it's part of the process. It's part of, what I mean? Even doing it on your own. Listen, if you do your own solo book and Marvel comes up to you and says, hey, man, we kind of dig your book, we want to incorporate it into our universe, it'll never happen. I feel it'll never happen. But if in, universe 1142 this happens,
well, what'll happen is Marvel will come to you and be like, hey, we like this. Can you do the same story, but with this character set that we haven't used in 10 years?
But you need to have that elevator pitch. You need to have that, that quick little snap. Like, oh, yeah, it's this meets this. It's, this with blood, sweat, and tears. I don't know. However you describe it. So I ask people that are self-publishing their book, like, give me the quick version.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's how I'm pitching Soul Ascendant is it's where Roman mythology meets Destiny 2.
Right.
And it's just very outlandish, but if you get it, you're like, that's wild. Yeah.
That's cool.
So where we're landing on this is the what's better is whatever best serves your creative endeavors and the story that you're telling. And
there is no right or wrong.
Yeah. And after this, Jose will write a story, I'll illustrate it, and Brent will color it.
Yes. Prepare for greatness. Prepare for glory. Really lousy glory.
My hamster's going to take forever on this.
Yeah. I'm just going to spill paint on it and just assume that's the way it works.
Right?
Yes, it'll be an abstractionist comic.
Right. It's like, have you ever seen David Mack's work? It's like that.
Except infinitely more crappy, yes.
Okay. Well, this has been That's a Fun Show on Tuesday. We'll be back next week, 8 p.m. Pacific, with on St. Patrick's Day, and our topic will be Irish comic book characters.
Tim, are you coming on the show wearing a leprechaun suit? Don't lie.
I don't, but I may see if I can't find like a Guy Gardner bowl cut wig.
Nice. Yes.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. I might as well just get it out of the way. I'm gonna forget about St. Patrick's Day. So the first thing, you guys feel free to just rip me up and down, and I will say, "Oh crap, I forgot," and that'll be the end of it. So preview of next week.
Yes. We'll remind Brent earlier in the day to get a list of characters ready. Yeah.
I'll send you a message, Brent.
Angie and his daughter, and I think I'm done.
Banshee also featured in one of my favorite X-Men one-shots. That silent issue.
Yes.
Oh,
Cool. All right. Well, make sure to check out Wednesday Wham and Silver Sunday on their respective days. Make sure to check out the rest of the Madness Comics Network on Roku on the channels or wherever you choose to get your comic book media. That's from Old Dirty Fetty. It's a fun ending comment. Some creators best, but the results are often or not. Yeah, results may vary. And usually that's a result of not getting enough feedback. So if you're a single creator, again, you get that feedback.
So the results may vary is my resume.
Yeah. There you go. Okay. Well, we'll be back then, but until that time,
Make mine
Silverline.
fine.
Hey, this is Paul Pelletier. Make mine Silverline. Is that okay, Roland?